Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be linked and listed in the description box below. Just a reminder, if anybody solicits you in the comment box below, do not respond to them if they solicit you pretending to be me. I will not be asking you for readings or anything like that. I'm actually closed to readings at this time, so don't respond to them. It is not me. It is somebody impersonating me, and report them to YouTube and also send the information my way so I can also report them. Okay, thank you so much for this. Now, let's begin this reading. Let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aries, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Actually, this one here. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Let's move these down just a bit so you can see a bit more easily. Okay, brilliant. And let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Aquarius, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. These two. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Ooh, 4. Okay, brilliant. Oh, we have here life's purpose, the third chakra, which is beautifully intense. And then we have universal light, the star soul chakra. There we go. Then we have psychic development, the third eye chakra. And we're going to be seeing how this all equates back to the tarot in just a moment. And we have forgiveness, the heart chakra, which is powerful, powerful. You begin with a powerful card, you end with a powerful card, you have, intensity in between. So your chakra development during this time and your intuition and your power is really leading you forward in a way that takes you out of your comfort zone and has you seeing things quite differently. Now, the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we have the 8 of Cups. That makes sense. The 10 of Swords. Interesting. The Death card, Scorpio energy. A dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. Time frame, October 23rd to November 21st. You have the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You have the Hermit, Virgo energy, time frame August 23rd to September 22nd. You have the Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles, again, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Ace of Cups, so you are definitely taking this gift, especially within the heart. The Two of Wands, you're seeing a new way forward in the public arena. The Magician, calling forward power and inspiration and seeing things quite differently and having a way to inspire that trickles down throughout the ages, throughout time. It really makes me think here of, because of the dress, but it has me think of Shakespeare's Caesar for some reason. Then we have the Hierophant, Taurus energy, time frame April 20th to May 20th. And then we have the 8 of Swords. So we begin with an 8 and we end with an 8. You're walking away from something you once thought you would love. And mentally you can feel trapped by things. And you can feel trapped by what you once thought would fit perfectly for you. So that's going to be something to be noted during this time. It's kind of like you're releasing yourself from the past to embrace a powerful future and a powerful way forward. Let's see the people who will be aiding you during this time. Who will be aiding Aquarius? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. Who will be aiding Aquarius? Who will be aiding Aquarius? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. All right. So we have here the Hermit, very strong Virgo energy. Within this reading, we have it here crowning the heart, and we have it here in the people who will be aiding you forward. Again, this is a sense of somebody who is very introspective, who very much looks at their own world, what they want from it. And that's going to be really something you're aspiring towards, Aquarius, because you are so introspect, so personal, so guided by the inner self that you almost feel at times like it's being selfish or, you should be more giving to others. But the way that you are seeing this person and the way that they look at their world and they handle their world is going to be like, oh, wow, that's really powerful for me. That's going to be the way that helps me kind of springboard off into something greater, into something more. So this person who is letting their own spiritual light guide them becomes somebody that you're very drawn to during this time, whether it be their teachings, whether it be, their works, their contribution to any form of, media or, public knowledge. That's going to be something that really inspires you. Even if it's like a mathematician and you sit there and you look at the way that they just solve this problem, they solve this riddle, and you're going to sit there and be astoundingly inspired by that. It like opens up new doors for you. And as these doors are opening, you then have the Chariot energy, which is Cancer energy, time frame June 21st to July 22nd. This is somebody who moves forward in their passion, in their understanding, in their determination. And that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be looking at things and saying, this is where I need to be. Body, mind, spirit, and soul. This is what I desire. And the person who sits there and says, you know what, I'm not perfect all the time. I have these flaws, but there's going to be a difference, because Aquarius, you're actually, Spirit is saying, you're going to be very off-put by the people who sit there and use their personal tragedies as ways to relate to people, like sitting there and saying, oh, look, I'm just like you. I had this tragedy or I had that tragedy, but it's a form of marketing. That's going to be something that you find very, very, very distasteful. This here is a person who sits there and says, I'm not perfect. I don't always have the answers. I get things wrong, but I am still moving forward because I need to. Because if I don't move forward, where exactly am I headed? And that becomes a powerful kind of thing. It's like, if I'm not moving forward, I might not be perfect all the time, but I still deserve to move towards my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, my inspirations. And then it leads you to being inspired and aided by the Princess of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is a person who's astoundingly caring, astoundingly giving, who loves truly and deeply. And this is a person who's very kind of innocent in their love. And it doesn't mean that they have to be a young person. They're just a person who understands that, yes, people take advantage. And yes, sometimes things are horrible. But I need to love this way, fully, deeply, and honestly. And if I don't love truly with my heart, my soul, and myself, then what is the purpose? And how is it that I could ever move forward? And that's going to be a person that you take great strength from. And there's a sense of really being grounded by them. It's like, I can have that depth of soul. I can have that depth of connection and not be ruined by it, and not be taken advantage by it, because you're opening up yourself here with your throat chakra, your soul star chakra, your third eye chakra, and your heart chakra. You're opening yourself up to a powerful awakening. And this is aligning you with your life purpose. And so often in life, we think that our life purpose has to be something fleshy and showy. And if we're not a movie star, and if we're not a rock star, and if everybody doesn't know our name, we're obviously not doing it right. Sometimes our life purpose is very quiet. It's very subtle. It's very beautiful. And there is nothing wrong with having a quiet, subtle life purpose, having a beautiful way forward. So here with the throat chakra, you are speaking your world into existence. Look at the words that you say to yourself. Look at the way you say, oh, I see it like this, even though you're feeling something, or I hear it like this, even though you're feeling something. It lets you know that you are more visual or more ocular. Ocular is visual, isn't it? You are more auditory. There we go. And so here, you're going to be opening up the world to you by the way that you see it, but also by the way that you accept the way that you see yourself in your world. And you're going to be ascending forward in a sense of, this is my purpose. This is my power. This is who I am. This is where I need to be. And you're going to see yourself becoming greater, becoming more than you thought you were. And as you do so, you have this light shining on you. Because again, your life purpose doesn't have to be a rock star, to be a movie star, for everybody to know your name, or to be famous as a baker or a teacher or anything like that. It's to be aligned with the essence of your soul. And it's to inspire people as they kind of pass your way. You could be, your life purpose can be selling groceries, all right? But you do so with such a smile on your face, with such a way of connecting with your community, that all of a sudden, that job that seems rather simple and people would be like, oh, no big deal, becomes a big deal because of the people who you connect with and the way that you spread love throughout the world. And so here, throughout your corner of the world, you become this light of inspiration. You become this universal light that moves you forward, that inspires, that breaks barriers, that has you, shining in a way with this soul star chakra, in a way that you hadn't anticipated, and it rains down upon you. It has you embracing psychic development. Now, this is just a really heightened sense of intuition. It can be that. It can be, talking with divinity, talking with spirit, asking questions, seeing, beautiful, serene, powerful answers in what other people take for granted. You can see it and feel it in the way the wind blows. You can see it and feel it in the call of birds, in in the, kind of little voice you get inside of your head that says, oh, watch this, and oh, look at that. And here it starts to open up your world. It starts to let you know that you're in tuned with something greater. And it really does open you up in a way that you hadn't expected, in a connection that takes your third eye and makes it into something greater. Instead of being like this abstract thing, you start to realize that divinity walks with you. You start to realize that your angels want you to achieve more, to go after more, to have greater success than what you thought. And then we move to forgiveness, the heart chakra. Now, the powerful thing with forgiveness is that it's not simply forgiving others. It's not sitting there and saying, I forgive you because I don't want to carry around this weight anymore within my heart, within my soul. Forgiveness is also saying, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for being too young to do anything. I forgive myself for being so much in love that I didn't see the signs. I forgive myself for the mistakes that I made, for the hardships that I put others through, that I put myself through. I forgive. You forgive others, yes. That's part of the process of moving forward. But forgiving yourself, that's so much harder. And here, it's embracing the heart chakra. It's fully feeling the pain that you carry, the doubts that you carry, the fear that you carry because of the lack of forgiveness. And it's also falling into alignment with that essence of yourself, with that sense of, why do I need to forgive? What do I need to forgive? How did this make me feel? And it's having that conversation with your psyche, which might seem a little bit odd, but it's knowing that the wall that you put up, the way that you haven't been able to forgive yourself, that's a coping mechanism. That's a way of sitting there and saying, okay, well, I couldn't deal with this then, so I'm assuming I can't deal with this now. And my subconscious is protecting me. And I forgive. I forgive that I feel like I have to protect myself. I forgive that I put up walls, that it's made everything so much harder. And you're going to find that you're set free. You're going to find that by doing this work, by calling yourself to the table, and visualizing it, it can be to kind of like a conference table or a dinner table, or it can be in a field where you call those aspects of your psyche forward, where you sit there and say, this is what's hurt me. This is the voice of my father, my mother, my teacher, my, the friend of the family that hurt me. This is their voice. This is what I hear in my head whenever I get scared or upset or overwhelmed. And it's paralyzed me. And forgiving them, most likely they will not care. It's not for them. It's for you. It's forgiving you for having to be put in that situation. And you internalized it and you made it your fault instead of putting the blame at them. Instead of saying, I didn't want to go down this road. And you start to have that conversation with yourself that protects you. And you start to see that you walk away from something that you once loved because it once kept you safe. It once protected you. And now it's like, no more. No more. I get to be free. I get to live the life that I choose, not the life that somebody else, tried to take away. And so you walk away. And there's power here. Sometimes the most powerful thing we could ever do in our lives is to walk away and say, enough is enough. I'm not doing this. I'm not being this person. I get to be me. And I get to embrace the joy, the beauty, the prosperity, the brilliance of me. And so here, there's a profound and deep ending. Now, for a lot of you Aquariuses, it's to what you once put on your shoulders that wasn't necessarily your burden to bear. And you put it on your shoulders because when it happened, you can only see it as being your fault. And now you sit there and say, I deserved so much better. And I'm walking towards so much better. And it brings you to the Ten of Swords. It brings you to the hurts. What is this here? Yeah, the person laying down with the crocodile over them. That's not ominous at all, right? That is totally ominous. So here, it's like you feel as if I can't move forward, as if this is my fate. I don't have anywhere to go. The Ten of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is a person laying flat on the ground with 10 swords stabbed into them. It's pain, it's suffering, it's the darkness before the dawn. And a lot of times in life, before we can walk away, it's that impenetrable darkness. What is the old saying? It is not until the fear of where you are exceeds the fear of the unknown that you will change. And that's what you're embracing here. It's like I'm looking at everything that I've been through year after year after year for 10 years. This could be 10 months. Yes, it could be. But it's also for that long period of time, for that one devastation after another stabbed in your back. But the Ten of Swords, when you have 10 swords stabbed into you, I mean, it's overkill, absolutely. But there's also wealth there. Swords were not something that were thrown away. They were not something that were easily discarded at all. You would hand down swords from generation to generation. And in ancient battlefields, you would go and you would pick over the dead to take away their weapons, to take away their armor, because it was too expensive. And so here, why would they leave 10 swords in your back? Here, why would it just be left to rot and not be? There's wealth in what you've learned. It might not seem like it at the time, and it might not seem like it even now. But if you start to see and say, why? What has this built within me? What has this given me? How have I moved forward? It's all about compassion, which is something we don't honor at all in this world. We sit there and we say we do. We say, oh, I honor compassion. I honor, respect and love and beauty and kindness. But when it comes down to it, we honor hotness, we honor youth, and we honor money. That's what we honor. That's like the gods that we worship to. And it's not. It's just that will give you nothing but a hollow existence. Here, it's looking at the compassion that you've learned. It's looking at the pain that you've seen. It's looking at the sorrow that you have been through. And it's realizing that pain, that hurt, that disappointment has made you into a person beyond the realms of comprehension and beyond what other people expect, so that you become so much greater than you ever imagined. And it moves you into the next cycle of psychological consciousness. Okay, the next cycle of understanding and being and seeing of who it is that you are, because this is the ending of a cycle with the 10. So the 10 shows an ending of a cycle with the swords of the mind. And so now you're moving forward and you're finding that there is a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. The 10 of Swords for me is my minor arcana death card because it signifies such a powerful and intense ending. And the death card here signifies that ending, that sense of the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, that sense of I'm not who I once was. And sometimes that's really sad when we look back at it and say, wow, I'm not the person I was 10 years ago. I'm not the person I was, 13 years ago. I'm not the person I was 1 year ago. And sometimes it breaks our hearts. It's like, wow, I really like that person. But the person that you are now is never a mistake. Trust the divine detours. Trust the divine understanding. Trust the power and the presence forward. Also trust that you are not meant to be anybody's, workhorse, dump wagon kind of thing. It's like people are not meant to just kind of unload on you all the time and for you just to bear it and keep on moving forward. There's something greater here. There's something more powerful here than what you had ever expected. And so with the death card, with this dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, you might not always appreciate where you are, but know that you are building towards something greater, something beyond the realms of comprehension, something completely powerful and brilliant and personable and you. And this is why we can never stay the same. Plato said, all is flux and nothing stayed the same, and nothing stays the same. He said that 400 years before the Common Era, and if it was true then, it is more than profoundly true now. Everything is meant to change, and we are forever meant to change. Didn't Shakespeare say, all the world's a stage and all the men and women simply players? Each man in his time plays his part. And so here we play the part that we are given, but we also play the part of the person who evolves, the person who sheds one costume, one act for the other. And so here you are being inspired, you are moving forward, you are breaking the molds, you are pushing yourself into a new realm of being. And it makes you the defender of your prosperity. It makes you the person who sits there and says, I am building something beyond what I could ever have comprehended. And I am molding something so much greater than what I had ever realized. And with the Knight of Coins, with the Knight of Pentacles, it's a slow, steady, sometimes maddeningly slow build towards prosperity, towards wealth or what you value as much as money, towards something that you defend and something that has a firm and solid foundation for what you are preparing for. And it leads you then to the Hermit, because, this is also earth sign energy, and Virgo energy is earth sign energy. So it plays nicely into each other, where you're turning inward and you're seeing that light that inspires. You're seeing that passion that ignites you. It doesn't mean that it ignites everybody or it moves everybody forward. It means that it does it for you. And as you are being inspired, and as you are opening up the doors, and as you are moving forward, you're going to find that there were things that you were too afraid of. There were things that you wanted to bring forward that you thought, oh no, that's silly. Or, oh no, how could I possibly? Everybody's just going to laugh. And now you're sitting there, and instead of saying, no, this doesn't get to be shined upon. This is too odd, or this is too personal, or this is too me. I can't bring it into the forefront of my being. You're going to sit there and say, why not? Why not be wonderfully and amazingly you? Why not let that light of your soul and of yourself shine forward? As long as you're coming from a place of love, a place of respect, a place of kindness, why can't you let that light shine on you and guide you towards something more? And that's what you're doing here. You're calling on that inner light, and it's opening up the world. And as it opens up the world, but also as it quiets your world, as you look at your heart, as you look at what it is that you truly desire, and you say, how is it that I move forward in respect and understanding and in abundance of me? It moves you then to being a student of your passion, being a student of what you really want from life, of sitting there and saying, this is who I am. This is what my soul wants. And that's what turning inward makes you see here. It makes you see the things that really ignite you, really guide you forward, really bring this joy and this power and this beauty and this peace that really, sit there and open up your understanding and your consciousness. And you become a student of the fire that burns inside of you. You become a student of the passion that guides you forward. You become a student of where you need to be, soul, mind, and spirit. And that's for the passion that gets you up in the morning. That's the reason for being. And as you are looking at this personally, passionately, as you're looking at your heart and saying, what is it that I want? Not what is it that everybody else wants of me, or what is it that I think I'm supposed to do to make everybody else happy, as everybody piles more and more and more onto my shoulders. And Aquarius, you being you are going to think, I just have to keep on moving forward, because if I don't, I'm letting everybody down. If I don't, I'm not doing my job. And here it's like, no, you are doing your job. You are doing your job by existing, by doing your very best. And you become a student then. Not a student, you become a master, a queen of the prosperity that guides you, of the wealth that you want within your life, of the generosity, okay, that is a part of you. So with the Queen of Pentacles, there is a sense of sharing the wealth, of inspiring others. Now, this is money or something you value as much as money. This isn't winning the lottery and then giving it all away. This is a sense of being secure and being stable and, shedding light and abundance, and having people look at new ways to move forward, a new wealth to guide them, a new passion to open up their eyes. These are the seeds that are being nurtured and planted, and the fruit that is being distributed that helps others prosper as you yourself prosper. And you are going to see here that you weren't meant to be hidden in the shadows, and that you weren't meant to deny yourself your voice, that you were meant to speak your truth and to move forward in this grace. And then it brings you to this place of gifts, this place of breaking out of your shell. From God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, they're handing you a gift of the heart in your heart. And here, with the Spirit said that with the Page of Wands, you're definitely taking this gift. So with embracing the passion that you have and the light that is now igniting within you, that is illuminating the way, you are going to see that you break out of that shell just a little bit more easily. That you sit there and you say, this is me. This is what I desire. This is what I need. This is where I want to stand. And at times you will be terribly insecure, and at other times you will be terribly confident. And that's just the ebb and flow of time and life and existence, and where you are emotionally and spiritually. And it's time to respect that. And with the Ace of Cups, there is a sense of washing away the doubts, the fears, the anger, the upset, the horror that has held you back for too long. And as you move forward in the light of your existence, as you move forward in the passion of you, you move towards a greater truth than what you expected. You move towards a greater understanding than what you had known before. And it starts to lead you to a place of seeing, a place of comprehending that you were not ever meant to be small. In the public arena, you're looking at things and saying, this is my passion, this is my purpose, this is what I desire from my existence, and I move forward. I move forward with the embrace of me. I move forward holding the world in my hands, because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, with the Two of Wands, he holds the world in his hands. And that's what you're doing. You're seeing that the world isn't vastly, overpoweringly, ginormous. It is smaller than you imagined. And there is a place for your particular skill. There's a place for your particular way. And you start to have the world open to you in a way that you hadn't imagined, in a way that you hadn't anticipated. And as the world opens, you embrace inspiration. Now with the Magician, here it can kind of, put you aback a minute with the imagery. But you have the serpents up above. You have the performer here. You have the people down below. And it really makes me think of Shakespeare's Caesar, the way that he could show things with and have it last throughout centuries without losing its intensity. And so here, that's what's being seen. It's the way to inspire, the way to get the masses to think the serpents up above, the people down below, and the way that we connect through the magic of our elemental selves, through the power of our understanding. And it opens up a greater world. It opens up a greater sense of truth through all the hardships that you have been through the having to seek out where you stand now after you walk away from something that has defined you for so long. And it starts to bring you to a place of inspiration. As the doors open and as you move yourself forward, you're not only going to be inspiring yourself, but you are going to be inspiring others. And you are moving towards a place and towards a space of deeper healing, of deeper understanding. And it leads you to the Hierophant. It leads you to being the ruler of kings. It leads you to being the ruler of emperors. It leads you to being the person who sits there and says, this is my truth. Whether others agree with it or not, this is where I stand, and this is what I stand for. And I will not deny myself the power and the brilliance of my truth, of my understanding, and my innate kind of psychic self, my innate being. And so as you embrace this, you embrace you. You embrace the power of you. You embrace the insight of you. You embrace the deeper understanding of you. And it starts to move you forward in a way that people see you as somebody who's unflappable. They see you as somebody who stands in a truth that they themselves cannot stand in. They see you as somebody who is dignified and, and just honest. And they might not be able to deal with that. They just might, because in a world where, as many people as you can deceit as possible is preferred, it's something that can be off-putting. But it's something that's going to also be astoundingly noble, astoundingly, innately trustworthy. And so people are going to start to be drawn to you. But there is also a sense here that as your world opens up, as you start to inspire yourself and others, and as you embrace the greatness that is around you, and you know the power of your words, because just think of it, a play is but a part of its words. And so here, with the inspiration moving forward, with you taking center stage, you are going to be dictating your future by the words that you speak, by the way that you perform upon this stage, the way that you inspire others, but also the way that you inspire you. Because the thing that is so powerful about our words is that our mind does not know the difference between make-believe and reality, which is awesome and also terrifying at the exact same time. And so here, as you are inspiring yourself, as you're moving yourself forward, as you're creating this world and you're speaking it into existence, be very mindful of the words that you speak. Because you're going to have a tendency during this time, even though you are embracing a great inner truth, even though you are kind of breaking down barriers, you're going to find with the Eight of Swords that you can easily be trapped again. trapped in old habits, trapped in, doubts and fears and angers and upsets, trapped in the words of others, trapped in the doubts of yourself. And this can be something that pulls you right back to the beginning. So you might find that you make these huge leaps and bounds during this time, just to have one bad day or just to have somebody say something in just the wrong way to absolutely devastate, like absolutely gut you. And then you feel like you started at the beginning, but you haven't, because you've already set those pathways for you to start really moving forward in the innate beauty and prosperity of you. This is time to get out of your head, stop overthinking, stop overanalyzing, because you are so connected with the world around you, Aquarius, that you take what other people say to heart and you internalize it. And you'll sit there and you'll pick up on the facial expressions. You'll pick up on the body language. You'll pick up on the tonal inflections that people don't even know that they're doing, but that just, it can make you think that you did everything wrong when you just haven't. So just be very, very mindful, because that's rooting you in the public arena. And in the public arena, everybody judges everything without ever doing it themselves. So here, just know that you are moving forward towards something greater, but that is something that you are going to have to be battling during this time. Now let's go deeper. Aquarius, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. And let's see the people you're going to have to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people that Aquarius is going to have to be mindful of? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. Who are the people that Aquarius is going to have to be mindful of? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. Who are the people that Aquarius is going to have to be mindful of? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. We give here the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now, as an air sign energy, you're going to be very drawn to this person, but this is a person who's going to be cold. This is a person who is, if they give you a compliment, okay, Aquarius, they're going to give a compliment with one hand and they're going to take it away with the other. They are biting, they are cutting, they can assess the situation astoundingly well. They kind of innately come at everything like a warrior, and they're going to see it as a fight, as a challenge. And this is just somebody that you need to stay clear of, because you're going to come in kind of like, oh my gosh, let's move forward this way. Like we can really connect. And it's almost like bringing a lamb to slaughter. So just be very, very mindful of this person, because, air sign energy can be amazing, absolutely amazing. But when it is in its negative aspect, it can be astoundingly cutting. Yeah. Then you have the Lord. This is Aries energy, March 21st to April 19th. This is somebody who likes to be in control. This is somebody who is the boss. They view themselves as the boss. They have all the answers in the whole entire world. If you don't see that, that's your problem. It's not theirs. And that's going to be something that just rubs you the wrong way. They're not going to want to talk. It is the way that it is, and that is that. And yes, it might be very good for business or very good in those type of situations, but it's not good with emotional connections. And that's going to be a place where you're just not going to meet them, because you feel like everybody needs to have that connection, that way of that give and that take. That's very much who you are, that give and that take. And this is going to be a person who doesn't see that. This is a person, they're very much warrior aspects during this time. So these are either people who are going through big fights within their own life and having to really fight forward and can't kind of turn that off. Or this is just a person who, that's the way they get ahead. They just plow forward and, whatever happens, happens, and the cards fall as they may, kind of thing. Then you have the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody who sees that there's a very clear way forward. There's a very clear path to success. If you are not taking it, it's wrong. And so this is a person where you're sitting there and you're like, what the heck? Like, these are just people who are very immovable. Like, they have their path, they have their way of seeing things, and they're not going to be opened to anybody seeing them any differently than the way they see them themselves. And that's just not you. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, so you're definitely taking this gift here. Oh, you have the Five of Swords. I don't like that Five of Swords. It always makes me flinch. Oh, you have the King of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles. That's a soulmate connection, a true love connection, so that's brilliant. The Three of Cups, the Three of Swords, the repeat of the number 3, that is saying that no matter how painful anything is, divinity is right there with you during this time. The Four of Swords and the World. So that's really brilliant. So I'm just going to start here with the King and the Queen of Pentacles. This is, whenever I have the King and the Queen of the same suit from the same deck in a reading, this is a soulmate, true love connection. This is a sense of things coming together. So for you here, this is either your soulmate is an earth sign energy or just somebody who's very down to earth and practical. And that would be one of the first ways that you describe them, but not in a like bad, boring way, in a way that's like, oh, they're just so sturdy. They're like that nice warm blanket that you would wrap yourself in. Now, whether this is a soulmate of somebody that you're falling absolutely head over tea kettle for, or if this is a soulmate of somebody who is just a really good friend, a person that you connect with and you love having around you, this is a person that calls you forward in prosperity. And this is also a time where you are being called forward in prosperity. You have this embrace of the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine, of this way forward that is totally pushing you outside of the realm of your understanding, your comfort zone, what you had originally thought. And this is here, you walking away from what you once thought you would love and kind of walking away from a time of struggle and strife into a time of prosperity. And you have the Queen of Cups now crowning you here. You have the Queen of Pentacles crowning you here. You have the Queen of Pentacles at the heart of you in your heart, and you actually have the King of Pentacles over the Queen of Pentacles. So that is just like this beautiful connection coming forward, this beautiful power leading you towards your goals and towards what you desire. And it brings you to a place of healing as you embrace this magic from within, as you embrace this power, this purpose, this dedication. You have your heart open to the Two of Cups. This is the healing as you transform, as you embrace the dying way of the old self, the rebirth of the new, as you look at things openly and honestly and truthfully and powerfully for you. It then leads you to the Ace of Pentacles. It leads you to prosperity that you're taking here, because it's right over the Knight of Coins, but you also, the Knight of Pentacles, but you also have it in the same line as the Queen of Pentacles. So it's like you're taking this gift in the aspect of your inner self. You're taking this gift in the aspect of your heart self, and you're going to see yourself starting to plant new ideas within your mind, starting to say why not instead of why, like starting to push yourself forward. And it brings you then to the Five of Swords, where, I swear, I don't like that card, where it has you looking at things just so differently. And the Five of Swords takes you out of your comfort zone, has you facing doubts and fears and negativity, and you start shining a new light on things, and you start, really being connected to what it is that you desire, what it is that you want. And you're going to be facing things that make you doubt, that make you sit there and say, I already faced that. Like, I already went through that. Why do I have to do this again? Like, why do I have to face these doubts or this anger or have this hardship be such a part of me? And it's because you are a monarch of prosperity. And anybody who isn't challenged becomes complacent. And I know what you're probably thinking, which is what I normally think when I see the Five of Swords coming up. It's like, oh, can't you give me a break? Like, do I have to be challenged anymore? Do I have to have any more, times of doubt or times of struggle? It's been enough. But in order to achieve greatness, you have to be forged for it. In order to be a great sword, as you are, Aquarius, you have to be forged, and that's being put in unbearable heat. That's being tested time and time again. That's hammering out any of the warping, and it's seeing yourself then move forward as a work of art, which is what you are. And it's embracing the prosperity. It's embracing the time, the effort, the skill that it took to make you so unbelievably and powerfully you. And it brings you to the Three of Cups. It brings you, as you heal, to healing from the hurts and the pains of people who celebrated you, who raised their glasses to you, but didn't mean it. That sat there and said, I believe in you, or you felt like they should believe in you because they were your parent, they were your lover, they were your best friend, they were your teacher, they were this person that you trusted, and they just couldn't do it. They couldn't leave anything but destruction in their wake. And so here with the Three of Cups, you're looking at that hurt and that pain, and that way that it's scarred you, not only emotionally here, but also made you doubt the way that you could move forward, the way that you could stand center stage, embracing your gifts and saying, this is who I was born to be. And the world is so much vaster and has so much more opportunities to it than I ever have imagined. And now you're starting to look at the pain and the hurt that holds you back, that makes you think, oh no, I can't do this. I can't move forward this way. I couldn't possibly, open up the door. I couldn't possibly, go after this. And now divinity is saying, yes, you can. Yes, you can. These hurts don't get to define you forever and ever. They get to be a part of you for a time. But they also get to be the part that you look at and you say, okay, I see you. I honor you, pain. I know you have made me who it is that I am today. But you don't get to define my every waking moment, my every movement, my every being. I get to define me. And I am so much more powerful and so much more than I ever thought I would be. And it moves you then to the Four of Swords, because this is a time where, as you go deeper, as the world opens to you, as you start to embrace this inspiration, and you face then at the root of it, almost like the door closing, like it's like the door opens and you're like, oh my gosh, and then as you're running forward, the door closes and you feel like you got it slammed right in your face, like you run into it. And this is where you look at the hurts and the fears and the doubts and the upsets and the upheavals that made that door close, and you're sitting there and you're saying, no, I pay honor to every single aspect of me that was overwhelmed, that was denied, that was made to be silent when I wanted to speak, that hurt, that cried, that despaired. And I see it for what it was worth. I see it for the way that it taught me what I never wanted to learn, but what divinity said I needed. The way that it opened up the world to me in a way I never wanted. I never wanted to understand what poverty was like. I never wanted to understand what heartbreak was like. I never wanted to understand what despair was like. But now that I know, I can never unlearn it. And you can never take away that depth from your heart and your soul and yourself. And so for every single disastrous thing that you have been through, every single time that you got up when it was easier to stay down, that's a win. It might not always feel like a win, but it is a win. And so here you're paying homage to every single time you won and thought that you lost. And as you pay homage to this, you start to see that the world opens to you. You start to see that you can move forward when it was easier just to stay behind. And you start to see that there is more there than you ever imagined, than you ever thought there could be. And it starts to inspire. So let's see what your spirit animals have to say. Aquarius, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, this one. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. We have here the dragonfly spirit. Truth transcends illusions. Spirit is also saying here, trust in the transformation. Trust in the way that you move forward. Trust in the fact that divinity is with you and that the truth of where you're headed and what is coming to you transcends the illusions of where you've been. The illusions of the fact that it feels like you will never be able to move forward. And you start to see yourself, embracing new heights, moving to new levels of understanding. It then leads you to the lion spirit. It says, be generous of spirit. Be generous of spirit because there are tremendous blessings being given to you. Be generous of the spirit to yourself, of the compassion, of the love you have for yourself, but also to others. And then you have here the elephant spirit. Learn from the past, because that's what the past is for. It's not to live in. It's not to be, bogged down in regrets with. It's to learn from, and it's to keep on moving forward. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the antelope spirit. Life is speeding up. It is. It is, and it's going to take you on this magnificent journey. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to move forward. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to say to everybody, you know what? It's time. It's time for me. And then leads you to your subconscious person message, which is strength. You're stronger, Aquarius, than you ever thought you were. You are stronger, kinder, more compassionate. And I know these aren't strengths that people sit there and they say, oh, well, that's what makes a person really strong. You look at the muscles, you look at this, you look at that. And sometimes it's the people who appear the weakest that are actually the strongest. And that's going to be so absolutely true for you. It leads you then to your subconscious chakra message, which is the inner child. It is holding your arms open to your inner child. It's holding your heart. This is the heart chakra, holding your heart open to the inner child. And so just for a moment, just visualize yourself with your arms open and the child that you were running into your arms and you holding onto that child, saying, I will always love you. I will always be there for you. I will always listen to you. You are precious to me, because your inner child needs that. Still inside of us at times, and it comes out in the oddest of places, is that scared little child that needs to know that they're safe and that they're loved. It leads you then to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Fool. It's time to move forward. It doesn't matter how foolhardy anybody thinks it is. It doesn't matter that they look at the journey and say, what the heck are you going for, Aquarius? It matters that you know that this is time, and this is your time to move forward. That you're beginning your hero's quest. And every single hero's quest is seen as a fool's errand before it is won. And so here you begin. It doesn't matter how scary the first step is or the second step. It matters that you began. And that is where your power lies, in beginning your journey. And yes, at times wavering from it, but not giving up on yourself. It leads you to go deeper into this subconscious message. And it leads you to the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. It leads you to falling in love with your life. It leads you to being in love with your life, with yourself, with what it is that you desire. You are realizing that as you move forward in this journey, on this sacred personal journey, on this hero's quest of your existence, that the only person that you have any power over is yourself. The only person who truly listens to you, the only person who truly understands you is you. And so the only person that you rule is you. And you are doing so with grace, power, determination, and dignity, and above all, respect. And you will find that more people follow, more people are inspired because you are doing so. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as new gifts and new bounties are given to you, Aquarius. And as you break the ties of old hurts and of devastating pains, to move forward in a strength that you never realized was such an integral part of you, but that is powerfully and beautifully redefining your existence and moving you towards a world that you had hardly imagined to embrace. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.